Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a review over the 2023 Massey Ferguson Heston 1745D, and there's a little surprise for you at the end of the video. So let's get on into it. This is the Massey baler that we bought in June of 2023. And it's been a pretty good baler, I think. We did have some issues with the net wrap. One of the bars back here, it was messed up, and this piston, let's see here. This piston here was not actuating. That was all covered under warranty. And what had happened, this piston was too small. This piston here seems to be double the size of the one that came on the factory. And then also one of these bars was tweaked. So they replaced that bar and that actuator under warranty. And then also a bearing went bad at this lower roller, I believe right here. That went bad on, I believe on this side. So we got that replaced under warranty as well. But what I like, it's got that little diagram up there. And you got the net wrap there. It's real easy. This pulls right on out. Got about a quarter roll of wrap in there. Easy to feed it through. But it is a little difficult to get that closed with one hand, I will admit. The lights don't seem cheap. The lights work good. Haven't had any issues except for that. You know, when we do the regular maintenance, keep it greased and oiled. We've replaced a few pickup tines and stuff and some bands here and there. We did replace the drive shaft because, well, we destroyed it. That was on us. That's not on Massey. You know, we run sisal twine too. You know, twine, it's actually really self-explanatory in here. This is like the most basic baler that you can get. You don't have no computer stuff. It's got a control box, which I'll show you. It's down there in the shop. It's a basic baler. It's easy to work on. It's easy to use. It's very user-friendly. If my 83-year-old grandpa that's not good with technology can do it, you sure as heck can do it. So you see we've got twine. We keep our oil and stuff in here, our wire to feed twine through. And the reason it looks all like that is that we like to keep our chains nice and old. We're probably going to need to take a link or two out of this chain this year. But it's been a pretty good baler. Lots of sealed bearings. You know, it's got, what I do like that none of our other equipment has, there's a grease fitting there somewhere on the shaft. You grease that and it greases the PTO shaft so the slide for the shaft to slide easy. Now one thing, and we learned this the hard way, this crank here, you only need to let the pickup down about 2.5 turns. Because what happens is you hit a terrace or hit something and it mashes them teeth in. And that tore up some stuff. I was able to fix it. But also, one thing that you have to do is when there's auto tie, it's got auto tie for the net wrap as well as the sisal twine. You cannot, and let me repeat, do not press buttons, because that tells the box or the computer or whatever, it just doesn't know what to do. So it freaks out, goes crazy, and the net wrap just starts feeding out. So you just let it be. So all you gotta do is let it be. Now this drive shaft is pretty heavy duty. These hoses are pretty heavy duty. See if these will fall out. See, pretty heavy duty gearbox. Everything's in there. There's a grease fitting right there, which I love. Probably need to change that gearbox oil and blow this all out real good. And I like to keep my hydraulic hoses marked. I have it on both tractors. Yellow to yellow, red to red. Do that for all of our equipment. So you don't have to play the guessing game. You can just match them up and we're all good to go. But one thing that I also highly respect about this, it's proudly made in Heston, Kansas, USA. And I love that. And this is just an all-around good baler. I believe that we bought it for $29,500. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what we paid for it. Cash. If you get a loan, I believe it totals out to be about $36,000, $37,000. But this is a good baler. I would highly recommend. I like having the flotation tires on it. Good valve here. This valve is good. It's nice and strong. I would highly recommend this baler. If anybody walked up to me and was like, "Hey, Owen, do you like the Massey Ferguson 1745D baler?" I'm like, yes. For the amount of bales that we do, maybe 200 or 300 a year, nearly 600 between both balers that we own. We own a Kloss as well. This is a good economy baler. Now, if you're baling a lot of bales a year, 600-700 plus per baler, then yeah, you'd probably want to look into something like a Kloss. It's got a manual, or not a manual, a hydraulic header, and it has a few more bells and whistles. But for what we do, this baler does the trick. And what I love is our little 50 horsepower John Deere tractor could pull this. It might not stop it, but it's got the horsepower to pull it. So we run it on a Deutz AgriLux 80 and a Deutz 6275. And you can feel it, but going up a steep hill. But generally, you can't feel it. That pull is just good. Now let's go down to the shop and we'll show you the control box. All right, this is that control box for that 1745D Massey. As you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's got a ram mount on it, and I'll come over to the tractor to show you how it mounts to the tractor. So we'll walk on over here. This is the tractor we run it on. It's getting ready. So we just drilled 2 holes into the fender and put this ram mount on there, and kind of lived on my life. And then over here, we've got a plug-in that unscrew the top, and that's where the power for the baler box control box comes into. So I'm gonna screw that back on real quick. So then we have it go through that little box there, comes under, zip tied to the frame, and just comes up and goes onto your battery post right in there. And then, see, this is the power cord. The power cord's expensive, so we just, instead of having one for each tractor, we just keep it screwed into the box at all times. So this box is pretty self-explanatory. This is your power up here. So if you want twine, press twine. If you want mesh, press mesh. And then, so right here is your auto tie. This thing here. So on is if your auto tie is on. And if it doesn't cut, you click cycle start. This little right there, And I personally do not care for the auto tie. I do the manual tie. So this is twine mesh manual control. So feed, you hold it all the way over there, and it moves the twine arm to the left of the baler, and then home brings it to the right of the baler. And it's the same for the net wrap. Feed moves that electric cylinder that I was showing you earlier to open, and then this light will come on for the mesh, and then move it to home. And then this is for your auto tie, set for how many wraps of twine or mesh that you want to have. And then over here is for your kicker. We don't have a kicker on it, but it's there if we want it. And then for me, I like to have this right here all the way open, so I can hear it. I have good hearing, but I have my earplugs in and the tractor running loud. Can't always hear it with it shut, so I have it all the way open. And my grandpa can't hear, so we have it all the way open for him. And then we see we got a little fuse there. So, and with the auto tie, this light is always on. With the auto tie, it'll beep when it's about to get full, and then it'll go beep, 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 beep when it starts to tie. And that's obviously when you need to stop. And for mesh, that light will turn on, and then you're in a good boat. So it's really not that hard. If you buy one, your dealer should be able to come out and help you set it up and teach you how to run it. That's what our dealer did, and in my opinion, that's what all dealers should do. I'm sure they would do it if you asked. But yeah, this Massey baler is a staple in our operation. Now on for the surprise. Well, this is the treat. It is I believe a 2024 Peckway HR 939. It's made in the United States. We bought it from Kane Equipment. This was a demo unit. It only has 30 acres on it, like you can see. Barely any paint gotten off the tines. Barely any paint taken off the hitch. And the thing about buying a demo unit is that you get a discount. We got $4,000 off for this hay rake from Kane Equipment. And we got a full factory warranty. So, Neil from Messix on Messix Equipment on YouTube. They have some locations up there in Pennsylvania. They have a great video. I believe they put it out either last week or week before last, kind of talking about that, about having, about maybe buying a demo unit might be better because you get full factory warranty and you get those few $1,000s off. Now, what we like about this rake is this is our first trailed rake. We have an old Tanuti that we kept as a spare, but these arms are a lot more heavy duty. We've got 4 big, good sized tires, and that same size tire is our tedder, and we actually have a spare rim and tire in the shop that'll fit this. I like that it's got tons of grease fittings on there. It's made in the USA. The one thing I did see that I didn't like, this valve here is made in China. Now, I do realize that you can't get everything made in the United States, but it is what it is. I know this is a good machine. I know Peckway is a good company. I know Kane's is a good company. So, I guess we'll see how this rake works out for us. If it's anything like our tedder, then it's going to be a heck of a machine. I will let y'all know how it works out for us. I'll probably do a review sometime in July. So I appreciate y'all watching and following along on the channel, and I'll see you next time.